Trucker horror story. The rain started just after midnight. Arjun, a truck driver with 15 years of experience, tightened his grip on the steering wheel as his truck rolled down Highway 47. He had driven this route hundreds of times. A lonely road cutting through miles of dense forest. The weather forecast had predicted light rain. Instead, a storm had arrived. Thunder shook the sky. Lightning flashed across the trees. The radio suddenly filled with static. "Great," Arjun muttered. He reached to switch stations. Nothing but static. Then he heard a voice. "Help me," Arjun froze. The voice sounded faint and distant. A woman. He turned up the volume. Only static. He shook his head. Just my imagination. The truck continued through the darkness. About 20 minutes later, his headlights illuminated something ahead. A figure. Standing motionless in the middle of the road. Arjun slammed the brakes. The truck screeched to a halt. The figure didn't move. It was a young woman wearing an old white dress soaked by the rain. Her long black hair covered most of her face. Arjun rolled down the window slightly. "Hey. Are you okay?" Slowly, she raised her head. Her face looked pale. "I need help," she whispered. There was an accident. Arjun looked around. No other vehicles. No lights. Nothing. "Where?" She pointed into the forest. "Please." Arjun hesitated. Every instinct told him not to leave the truck. But he couldn't ignore someone in trouble. "Get in," he said. The woman climbed into the passenger seat. The moment she sat down, the temperature inside the truck dropped. Arjun could suddenly see his breath that he turned the heater higher. Nothing changed. The woman stared out the window silently. "What's your name?" Arjun asked. No answer. "Where's the accident?" Silence. The truck moved forward. Lightning flashed. For a brief second, Arjun looked at her reflection in the side window, his heart nearly stopped. The seat was visible. The dashboard was visible. But there was no reflection of the woman. He immediately looked at her. She was still sitting there. Perfectly still. His hands began shaking. Another flash of lightning. Again. No reflection. Arjun swallowed hard. He remembered stories other drivers told at roadside restaurants. Stories about strange passengers on lonely roads. Stories he never believed. Until now. The woman suddenly spoke. "Turn left. There isn't a road there. Turn left." Her voice sounded deeper this time. Almost unnatural. Arjun looked ahead. A narrow dirt path disappeared into the forest. He had never noticed it before. Against his better judgment, he turned. The truck slowly crawled down the muddy trail. The forest grew darker. The rain became heavier. After 10 minutes, they reached a clearing. The woman pointed ahead. "Stop here." Arjun stopped. The headlights illuminated an old rusted truck. Its cab was crushed. Trees had grown around it. It looked abandoned for years. "That's the accident?" Arjun asked. The woman nodded. Then she turned toward him. For the first time, he saw her face clearly. There was sadness in her eyes. "Can you help me? What do you need?" "Look inside." Arjun didn't want to. But curiosity won. He grabbed a flashlight and stepped out. The rain hammered his jacket. He approached the wreck. The truck looked ancient. The door hung open. Slowly, he shined the flashlight inside. Something was lying across the driver's seat. A skeleton. Still wearing pieces of an old truck driver's uniform. Arjun stumbled backward. His flashlight beam moved across the dashboard. A faded newspaper clipping was pinned there. He brushed away the dirt. The headline read, "Truck crash kills driver and daughter." Date, 10 years ago. Arjun felt cold. Very cold. He remembered the woman. The daughter. Slowly, he turned around. She was standing behind him. Only inches away. Her eyes no longer looked human. Dark shadows filled them. "Did anyone remember us?" she asked softly. Arjun couldn't speak. "Did anyone come back?" Lightning exploded across the sky. For a split second, he saw her true appearance. Broken. Covered in mud. As though she had just crawled from the wreck. Then darkness returned. Arjun ran. He sprinted toward his truck. Behind him came slow footsteps. Not running. Walking. Yet somehow getting closer. And closer. And closer. He jumped into the cab and locked the doors. The woman stood outside. Rain poured down her face. She slowly raised one hand and pointed toward the passenger seat. Arjun looked. Someone was sitting there. The skeleton. Its empty eye socket stared directly at him. Arjun screamed and started the engine. The truck roared to life. He slammed the accelerator. The vehicle sped down the trail. Branches scraped the sides. Thunder shook the earth. Finally, after several terrifying minutes, he reached the highway. The storm suddenly stopped. The radio returned. Everything felt normal. Arjun looked in the mirror. No woman. No skeleton. Nothing. Relieved, he continued driving. By sunrise, he reached a roadside restaurant. Inside, he told the owner everything. The old man listened carefully. Then he went silent. Finally, he walked to a dusty wall and pointed at a photograph. Arjun's blood ran cold. The picture showed a truck driver standing beside his daughter. The same woman. The same face. The old man sighed. They died 10 years ago. Every few years, a driver says they picked her up. What happens to them? The owner looked uncomfortable. Most quit driving. And the others? The old man pointed outside. In the parking lot sat several abandoned trucks. Their owners had vanished without a trace. Arjun stared through the window. Then he noticed something. On the passenger seat of his truck. A wet footprint. And beside it. A folded newspaper clipping from 10 years ago. There was a message written on the back. "Thank you for coming back." Arjun slowly looked up. Across the parking lot. Standing among the morning fog. The woman was watching him. Smiling. And then she disappeared.